as well as we hop into Champion Select. IMA is another team with a top laner that's honestly a bit of a loose cannon. Of course, Amazing J can do all sorts of very weird and wonderful things on the map.
Certainly can. Fantastic Olaf player.
See whether that gets locked in. As you can see, Trundle and Karma have both been banned away from IMA, and Vladimir and Gangplank removed from Rookie and Zatai. Of course, when I say removed from Rookie and Zatai, I mean those champions have been removed from both of them, respectively.
Yep.
Very flexible bans coming in from IMA, as the final ban now being looked at by Invictus Gaming. See what it is they're going to get rid of, whether they have a look further into that support pool, whether the Braum or Alistair are going to go, whether they're going to prioritize one of those picks. The jungle, of course, wide open. Shen and Hecarim both available, as Ashe is going to be the ban away from Jin Zhao.
Certainly is. Zatai is a very good Shen player. One of the pickups that he made look incredibly good. He is willing to definitely play that tank in the top lane. Suits their 1-3-1 style. He also historically is a monster on Riven. I mean, he was playing it as a mid lane pick a lot of the time, but he would body people on the champion.
And I really hope right now he's arguing to first pick Riven.
I don't think he is.
I just think it'd be brilliant. But no, 36 seconds to go. Still a lot of time to work with here for IG as they consider that first pick. I highly doubt that it is going to be a top laner, if not Shen. We'll see what they do want to prioritize. As Kid could hop over to the Hecarim as well, because that could be important to deny away from IMA, who are probably looking at a possible Hecarim Shen first pick, and that is going to be the Hecarim locked in. So denying it nicely here on the side of IG, and Amazing J can head towards the Shen for himself if he would like to.
Yeah, it certainly can, and and now it depends on what else do they think can go with it. I mean, Rek'Sai is Rek'Sai is another pick that goes with Shen incredibly well.
How did you know? Just hovering the Olaf. It's just fantastic.
He always does it. These two top laners.
Yes.
Men are from Mars and women are from Venus. These guys are from, like, Jupiter.
Yeah, somewhere else. But Jin Zhao, if you can't be on the Ashe, Jin definitely seems like a good idea. Amazing J thinking about the Gnar, so we'll have a lot of CC. But there it is. The Shen has been discovered. 11 seconds to go. Of course, both of these top laners have played Shen 7 times each. Very comfortable up there on the probably worst ninja in the game. And that is going to be our lock-in. So Rek'Sai Shen not showing the hand too much, but that is going to be the tank in the top side.
And that is what we expect. I mean, as soon as you see Hecarim picked away, you have to think of what champion can get to the back line with a similar efficiency. And Rek'Sai is one of the few junglers left that can actually do that. I mean, we've seen it a little bit with things like Nidalee as well, when you want to go super aggressive on the pick.
Yep.
But a lot more reliable to do it with double tank. So good. Pretty ambiguous first picks, to be honest, out of the IMA lineup.
Yeah, it looks like Kid probably thinking about heading back to his Elise. He's one of these junglers that looks very, very good on Gragas.
Kid.
His Elise has been sort of the second option.
He's probably going to play Hecarim.
Oh, wait, that's my bad. So Poppy's going to be looked at now for the top side of the map, and I'm going to make sure that I look at champions that have already been locked in. Thank you very much, Spawn. Always eyes on the prize, as the Jin has already been locked in there for Marge. And that's Poppy. We're going to see it again, as Zatai, of course, used to be a massive proponent of Trinity Force Ghostblade Poppy. We'll see whether they can win yet another game with that particular build.
Yeah, I mean, it does a lot of damage. I am also a big supporter of damage item Poppies. She runs real quick. However, that is a heck of a lot of backline dive and some good initiation coming out of the AD carry position, as well as cleanup potential. So, like what IG has put together so far, IMA, on the other hand, I mean, if they go with this Kog'Maw pick, that is really hard to get to Jin Zhao. And he is a very mechanically sound AD carry.
Well, it is going to be Athena saving his pick until last, as it's Braum Kog'Maw locked in. Of course, those concussive blows can go off extraordinarily quickly with the help of Bioarcane Barrage.
It's also the fact that Braum really does wreck Kog'Maw's day.
Yeah.
If one auto attack comes through onto the Kog'Maw, he really is pretty much, he's not in a great place. As well as the fact that Unbreakable can save people away from Kog'Maw. So you understand why they take it together. It's a good lane, but it also is very important to be able to save the Kog'Maw's life.
Yeah. But Baolan is going to head back towards the Cow. Of course, does have a very roaming style when he plays this champion. Spends a lot of time with Kid. See whether he can actually keep up. Of course, both of them quadrupeds, but one of them runs a whole lot faster than the other. Because, of course, Boundland spends a lot of his time on his hind legs. Interesting. But it is going to be the Victor locked in there for Rookie. So a lot of AoE damage coming out of the mid lane now and a lot of control, plus a safe blind pick.
Important to note, however, is that Road is kind of on a defensive AD carry. We'll see whether he is able to get any initiation out of it, or whether that does go back over to a Voidless now that he is on the Braum. Whereas Balan very much on the initiator for his team. Huge backline dive threat. Rookie is also a fantastic Victor player. I'm trying to think of Victors that are better than him in the world. You know, you have people like Kuro over in the LCK. You know, Doimby was always a fantastic Victor player as well.
Welcome back to the LPL as well.
Xiaohu is a great Victor player, so, you know, lots of them around without going to the LCS regions. Don't yell at me too much.
I was going to say Dade probably needs a mention at the same time with his recent performances on the champion.
But Victor and Rookie, very, very good. He kind of revolutionized the Lich Bane build in the LPL. And, you know, having that maximum movement speed, but really being able to blow up an AD carry.
Yeah, giant amounts of burst damage, what Rookie certainly loves out of the champion, and versatility, mobility. And speaking of which, has picked up the cleanse now that it's Lissandra locked in over the other side. Of course, Easyhoon making the champion look very good. We'll see where the Proto Belt's going to come in first for Athena at the same time, but it does mean that there is so much CC, so much peel available for Jin Jiao. And Aime, even without the Kog'Maw necessarily doing the work, we know that Lissandra's capable of a heck of a lot of AoE, and if Lung has taught us anything, then Shen, also a damage threat in his own right.
100%, but at the same time, you have to look at what can get onto the two backline threats. I mean, Poppy, Hecarim, as well as an Alistar.
Well, we saw it, didn't we? I mean, Vici did the same thing.
Incredible amount of lockdown potential there, so Jin Jiao going to have to be on point.
Well, we'll see whether he can make it into the right positions as coaches shake hands. Let's get into game number 1 between Aime and IG. Here we are onto the rift for game number 1 between Aime and Invictus Gaming. The first dragon going to be an Infernal Drake at the same time. We'll see who that's going to benefit, as Aime have always had a habit getting things done in the early game. We'll see whether that's going to change as IG pick themselves back up after a pretty rough season. Try and get themselves through this playoff gauntlet.
Maybe a sneaky play out of Jin Jiao and Road here. Marge gets a good ward. Kog'Maw
can. Arcane Barrage didn't do it.
Yeah, it can normally, though.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Damn it.
I'm not mad, Jin Jiao, just disappointed.
As you can see, Balan actually going for the sneaky wraparound. Possibly able to flank this support player if IG actually want to try and go for
Yeah, you still don't want to fight Braum level 1.
Yeah.
I'm going to be pretty firm in my belief of that one. If they started up a Gromp or something like that, sure, you can do it with a third man. But in a pure 2v2, that is dangerous.
Well, you can see now IG aware of exactly where Road is. Marge still waiting in this tri-brush. Now going to go back, have a look at the Gromp. So IG will be able to safely do their Krug camp if they would like to.
And all's quiet on the Western Front, Atlas.
Yeah, apart from the fact that Athena took a little bit of poke damage from Rookie. He's able to throw out a bunch of Qs, already down to half health. Here's the Lissandra, but we saw this. Easyhoon still didn't actually have a great time in the early stages against Easyhoon's, sorry, against Republic's Victor. It's probably pretty understandable. This dancing grenade from Marge is going to clean up this front line of creeps. And Athena actually still going aggressive, looking for a bit more damage and possibly a Thunderlords, but Rookie, now those cooldowns came back up again. He's oppressive here in the mid lane.
Yeah, it certainly is. I mean, he's looking to shove forward at every opportunity. You've got to remember that is a corrupting potion, so slightly more sustain out of Athena. However, when it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah, lands the death ray as well.
Yeah, so he's being poked out incredibly hard at the moment.
Good shadow dash there from Amazing J. Zatai's taking a lot of damage. Those empowered auto attacks really doing work. Zatai picks up his buckler and limps back towards the lane. Shen pretty strong.
Yeah, Shen's an awesome top laner at the moment. I speak incredibly highly of him. I mean, as soon as you get any small advantage in the lane, can be quite oppressive, as well as doesn't naturally push early lanes. So you can trade for pretty extended periods of time. And I like the fact that, you know, Amazing J playing up nice and aggressive, as we already mentioned. I mean, sure, we can talk about Zatai's laning prowess as much as we want, but Amazing J is a very good laning top laner, I mean.
Yeah, always has been.
Darius, Garen, some of his favorite champions. If you don't win the lane on those guys, you're just done.
Yeah. Of course, his famous Garen 1v2.
Here we go.
As Kid, yeah, looking for Athena. Nice Chlora Doom. And Kid just canters slowly by. Pumpkinhead Hecker him. Getting himself back into the jungle. Of course, didn't have a whole lot of camps to take. He'd already cleared them all out. Looks like he's waiting for that Gromp to respawn before he gets things going once again. But good lane position here from Rookie.
He didn't take Gromp. He got counter jungled away from a Voidless, so probably the last camp that's going to come back. Unfortunately for him.
A little bit sad. There's Dancing Grenade going to land on the road. Marge doing a fair bit of work here towards the bottom side of the map, but do we think that's fairly understandable with Jhin versus Kog'Maw?
Yeah, Jin's a huge lane bully. I mean, Jhin wins a lot of lanes by himself. Oh, that hurts.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, definitely understandable, the fact that Kog'Maw's being shoved back, especially because there's no Ignite really being taken. Rookie got a free shop in. He's going for a very lane-dominant build with a couple of extra rings. And everything really seems to be lining up for an IG style of game. Long, extended laning phase with only really Amazing J coming out ahead.
Yeah. Only ahead by about 9 CS here as well. We'll see whether Zatai, as you know, the game progresses. Of course, Poppy, of course, getting tankier and tankier as things go on, more and more comfortable. But I may also probably looking for this 5v5 scenario where they can get the Kog'Maw into a good position, start off the fight well with all of their forms of CC. IG wanting to keep things scrappy, keep things divey. As Marge is going to save that crit. Continue farming out very effectively here against the Kog'Maw. So Zatai has found himself okay here towards the top side, but just can't trade with Amazing J.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to for a very long time. I mean, probably going to need a Barmy Cinder. Move towards a very defensive build against the Shen, generally. Shen, of course, just has the advantage of being able to build pure tank and still getting a lot of damage. And good gank path here out of a Voidless can really ruin Zatai's day.
Well, Zatai right now, we're going to wait for this cannon creep. We'll see whether he decides to push up from that point on. Actually does. Doesn't want Zatai to hold that wave as there's the taunt. Knock-up comes down onto Zatai as he uses the W to get himself out of the way. Has to flash. Still a good gank there from a Voidless.
A fantastic gank because all of a sudden Amazing J can freeze the wave, get his shop in whenever he wants, although now a dive in the mid lane.
Yeah, in goes Kid, but nice Circle of Frost denies Rookie as he's able to get that Death Ray across outside of turret range. And in goes a Voidless. Rookie now at half health. Preyseeker actually chunks him a fair bit. But look at this CS lead for Rookie.
Yeah, he's just unrelenting in shoving him in. And, you know, now they have to bring Road across as well. I mean, there's absolutely nothing Athena can do. We know it's a favorable matchup, but this is ridiculous.
Yeah. Balan is going to turn up. Of course, when there was nothing else to do there towards the bottom side, he may as well just move his way to the mid lane. And Rookie grabs this wave right back into the turret. He's just going to continue getting further and further ahead.
Yeah, actually let it hit the turret. Generally, you see Rookie tank up a creep wave, you know, see if you can get it back and hold the wave where it is, put increased pressure on a mid laner. Instead, it looks like he just wants this CS. Probably means that he's close to a Hex Core upgrade, something like that.
Yep. He's now heading back to base as well. Didn't have a lot of mana. And now you can see Marge heading back in with that Serrated Dirk. Another longsword there as well, so close to the Ghost Blade. Zatai still hasn't teleported. Amazing J teleports back towards the top side though. Level advantage now negated. As the buckler's going to get destroyed, but nice little shot. Zatai has his Barmy Cinder. is feeling okay.
Yeah, and Zatai not actually teleporting back shows the discipline that, I mean, we keep talking about it, but playoff League of Legends. You know, Amazing J has the ability to help out a teammate with that shield. Zatai acknowledges he needs to be able to go with that. He would have loved to be able to teleport back in, but can't.
Oh, good heroic charge here from Zatai as well, as he denies the taunt. Ultimate comes out. Zatai looking for the 1v1. A Voidless is going to turn up, doesn't land the Q, and Amazing J, no teleport, may actually have to go back, and he does.
Yeah, he does. So that's a fantastic win out of Zatai, and Poppy can shove quite heavily with Balmy Cinder, so pressure going to be on. Rookie, however, mid lane.
Yeah, uses the cleanse immediately, but he's still taking so much damage. Flashes out from underneath the turret and does survive as Chaos Storm deters a Voidless from diving any further. Rookie just says, all right, well, I guess I'll pick up a red buff, a blue buff.
And just think about how many actions that takes for Rookie to really be able to turn around, get full burst damage out, flash, and then still use a Chaos Storm in the right direction. I mean, it's the little things watching IG's mid laner that really do impress you every now and again. So able to successfully navigate the gank. Hasn't still yet gone back with enough gold to upgrade.
Yeah, this is the unfortunate
his hex
thing.
core.
Had to get himself those Lucidity boots instead. Didn't have the money and didn't have the mana bar to stay. So it really is the problem with Victor at the moment. The fact that Hex core
1250 is a lot of money.
More. Yeah. As a Voidless takes away a little Cinderling. Kid, of course, knows exactly what's going on. Doesn't have his Smite available as a Voidless. Oh! Smite's too early! And Kid just helicopters it up. No worries at all.
22 damage. You hate to see it, Atlas, but it does go over to Kid. Able to keep the CES flowing over, as well as having that buff. However, you have to say that even though mid lane CS-wise was going pretty heavily in favor of Rookie, it has started to swap back a little bit.
Yeah. Now you can see Ward in this pit does show the fact that IMA are going for this dragon. It's taking a lot of damage from Jin Jiao, though, already down to half health. Teleport's coming in. There's the curtain call. They're looking to try and start a fight off this. Aggro. As there it is, IG move themselves over. Nice headbutt gets a Voidless out of there, but Stand United's going to deliver Amazing J. Jungler not going to get in there. Infernal Drake taken by Aime. Is now Kid below half health. We'll see whether he still decides to start this fight as Rookie looking for the flank. And Aime say, no, we don't even want this fight anymore because we've already taken the dragon. Rookie now on his own. Athena moving forward. Nice death ray. And can't quite get in range. In goes Kid on his own. Good taunt comes out as they're able to get first blood onto the Shen. A Voidless will be answered for right now as Zatai can possibly grab this kill. No, Rookie is going to pick that one up, but it was pretty overzealous there from Kid.
Yeah, it certainly was. I mean, he flew in there. He wanted to be able to generate something. Did fall down quite quickly, so you understand the idea out of Kid, but he's just not taking enough to get it done. More importantly, he didn't have Smite while that dragon was being done, so they shouldn't have picked up the aggro that way. They should have let it fall off, reset their positioning around the map. Instead, they bit off a little bit more they can do there, IG, and I may come out with the advantage. Yeah,
really intelligent play from Aime as well. Of course, Voidless watching the fact that Kid didn't use his Smite. Had a couple of charges there for himself, so heads himself over there, grabs himself the dragon. There's a tie, back towards the top side of the map. Shoves that wave in, 68 to 75, so still fine, but first blood going over to the Shen means that Sunfire Cape very, very close. Ruby Crystal now done as well. And this is going to be a bit of a tank battle between the old Poppy and Shen. And may not be one that's going to be all that exciting to watch in a 1v1, to be perfectly honest.
No, it certainly won't be. But, you know, we're used to that in League of Legends. Hopefully Shen gets some cool ganks on the bottom half of the map to more than make up for the fact that he is quite boring in the top lane by himself.
Do want to see Zatai throwing out some pretty good Hammers of Judgment as well. Getting people out of there. It's interesting, of course, Shen and Poppy having very different ideas of what they want to do. Of course, Shen wants to get in there, pretty collaborative. Poppy just wants to knock people away.
Yep. You know, it always depends what your goals are in League of Legends. So.
And I like it. Poppy does fit into the IG style quite effectively as Voidless takes a double death rate tick. Just because IG have been a team to want to isolate, to want to create 1v1s, 2v1s, situations like this, and Poppy does fit into that mold quite nicely. Create some chaos on the map.
But not much chaos at the moment. We've just had a pretty slow laning phase, actually, out of both these lineups. And you'd have to say that, you know, that probably suits the Aime squad.
Yeah. Nice Shadow Dash comes in there from Amazing J as well as Zatai. Not quite quick enough as Athena doesn't have Flash just yet. Doesn't get in range of the Frozen Tomb as Rookie kiting this one around, gets the Chaos Storm down onto Athena. Death Ray comes in as well, as Rookie now instantly cleanses, but he gets knocked up, bit off a little bit too much, and Kid just not there in time.
Yeah, just stepped forward that little bit too far, wasn't able to flash back in time. You know, Kid just wasn't there, and Rookie, this is the second time that, you know, he's gone aggressive, look to turn these players around, and is starting to get frustrated, you feel, in the mid lane.
Has that first Hex Core upgrade, but that's now an Abyssal Scepter done for Athena. Extra cooldown reduction, extra damage especially. Such a good item for Alessandra just in general, and that is first major item completed. As in goes Kid, he's thrown down the Ghost. Good flash out of Jin Jiao, gets him away from the Deadly Flourish as Road tanking up the Curtain Call. Doesn't tank the last bullet though. Nice stand behind me, gets himself to safety, and Kid just can't find his way in.
Yeah, he's actually been a non-factor so far this game, and worse yet, he's falling behind in farm as Road does get stunned up here, but no follow-up out of either Balan or Marge. And you feel like, as I said, I keep going back to it, Rookie got a CS advantage, no one else really ahead, but the game is slowly tipping into IMA's pace of play.
Yeah. I just feel like we're playing IMA League of Legends at the moment. And Athena, I mean, it's a very similar story to what EasyHoon was able to do. I mean, down in farm, but the fact that that Frozen Tomb is so versatile, so useful for what it provides is just so important. Now Rookie spots out of Voidless, throws down himself a Gravity Field, gets the stun, takes himself a blue buff, and gets rid of the Rek'Sai. But Athena underneath this turret now will get some decent damage. And remember, first turret blood, or first structure bonus, it's pretty important. Neither team's been able to find it just yet as Balan looking to clear out this vision, but isn't going to be able to 1 versus 2, and Kid really wants this Raptor camp, so isn't going to be able to help out.
And just time and time again, they're walking into the IG jungle, doing a fantastic job of keeping tabs on where Kid, where Rookie are at that stage of the game. You know, Athena, one more time, ultimate flash available. Rookie doesn't have the cleanse, so you have to watch out if you are the victor in this situation. And they're playing with no tempo from a deficit already.
Yeah.
With pretty heavy scaling champions, to be frank. It's going to be hard.
Yeah, and the composition, it doesn't really matter. I mean, I feel like IMA probably would have been comfortable if they were behind by a little bit early on, as Rookie has to flash out of the way of a Voidless. A lot of damage back there, but he's so tanky right now with his Cinderhulk completed.
And one more time, I mean, that is a Voidless going into the jungle with another member. Amazing J cheating over on this Shen and able to pick up an advantage. Big engage in the bottom.
Yeah, Marge actually may have to flash his way up, but the concussive blows come in. There's the Shadow Dash. And Amazing J locks it down. Balan now flashing out of the way. He got exhausted as well. They really wanted that kill, but IMA only able to get that one, but it might be enough to take down this turret.
Certainly looks to be, because all of a sudden they're pushing in with a Cogmore. Alistar looking to defend. Top lane already been answered by a Voidless, so not really all that much Zatai can do to match the pressure, because look at that, he can just win the 1v1.
Yeah, as Rookie now got caught out by Athena. The Claw comes in. He's able to grab it. Celebratory stay in the gravity field as Kid ults himself over, but the flash is still there, and Athena gets out.
Yeah, 100%. And now Balan, he's just stuck here. He's trying to defend with his life. That might be it.
Yep, concussive blows comes down. The ultimate not nearly enough as Road just tanks up the turret. 5-1 now in favor of IMA.
And was it worth it? All of a sudden, IMA turn on their gas. And you know, it was a very good play out of Amazing J, transitioning all of that advantage he accrued in the top lane, getting the Great Stand United down into the bottom lane. And one more time, it was just a Road going aggressive. Love when they play this style of League of Legends. 2 good dragons in Infernal and Air going to be picked up at the 16-minute mark. First turret objective going over to them as well. IMA just look like they're on a roll.
Yeah, and that was also the Cogmore grabbing that 650 gold at the same time. So a Voidless takes down this last dragon. All of the objectives going in the way of IMA. And this next back from the Cog is going to be frightening, to say the least. That Runan's well on its way right now. He just skirts out of the way of the Deadly Flourish that just doesn't feel that deadly right now.
Yeah, you know, the scary thing about Cogmore, I mean, he gets very hyper carry-esque throughout the mid-game. However, has a very cheap build. I mean, it's not that expensive to build Wits End into Hurricane.
Yeah.
So no BF sword items required means that he does quite all right throughout the early stages. And he's already got a Hurricane. I mean, he's absolutely massive.
Yeah, completely ridiculous. 2-item spike already done. The closest Marge has got to that is a longsword right now. It doesn't even have upgraded boots, as those are Berserker's Greaves out of this Cog. That first structure bonus just ridiculous here on 6.15. And the fact that they used it for their AD carry as well. I mean, we haven't seen that so far. Normally it's top laners getting ahead in that split push scenario.
And one more time, they're invading in, and there's nothing they can do. I mean, invading into an Alistar should be death. No, but there's just no damage to follow up, and all of a sudden, they were hunting for Marge. I mean, they just want to continue to punish this bottom side of the map.
Well, of course, they know exactly how strong Jin Zhao is. As Road tanks up the Deadly Flourish, not looking too worried. Now Marge grabs hold of the wave. Rookie and Kid now together, looking for a possible Athena pickup, but can't quite find him. Perfect hex score there for Rookie. So we'll be able to speed himself up with every Q. Might help him get out of the way of this Lissandra. And now has his cleanse back up. But that CS gap is basically nothing. As Amazing J doesn't find the Shadow Dash onto Zatai.
There's just no winning matchup left for the IG roster. And, you know, we do talk about the fact that Rookie can do some pretty incredible things on Victor. But this game does not look to be one of those because Kog'Maw right now, if he marches into mid lane, it's just going to be able to mow him down. Instead, they're looking towards the top side of the map, seeing if they can take some more structures, really open this up for the Shen. Yeah,
really wanted to extend this lead, and looks like Zatai able to make it out safely, but the turret certainly can't. As Jin Zhao seems like wherever he goes now with these 2 attack speed items, able to tear through these structures easily. And that is going to go down as well. So that lead now up to close to 5,000. Feels like it's only getting worse here for IG as Aimee playing clean, clinical League of Legends from Group B.
Yeah, certainly are. I mean, they're going to be able to steal away a blue buff, give that one over to Jin Zhao as well. Last outer structure is that mid lane. We'll see whether they go towards it or whether Rookie is going to have enough wave clear to stave it off for now. Instead, actually, a Rift Herald. That's an interesting call. Maybe give it over to the jungler, increase the power farming that can come out of a Void List, give you a 1-3-1 legitimate option here.
Yeah. Well, Jin Zhao can turn on that Bio-Arcane Barrage, tear that one apart. Will be interesting to see who gets it, as it is taken down and given to a Void List. So you're exactly right.
Yeah, I really like getting it on farming junglers, actually. It does increase your speed quite well.
Yep.
So able to rip through some of those neutrals. And wow, Zatai just doesn't want to give... sorry, Amazing J just doesn't want to give anything up.
Nope. Looking very dominant. Of course, Zatai 0-0-1. Very close on farm, so the Poppy is still doing exactly what her job is, but Kid, he's going to get taunted up by Amazing J. Super tanky now, half health for the Hecarim, who just got his Trinity Force. So should be on an item spike, but can't even take away his own red buff. There's a Voidless just bullying everyone away. Headbutt comes in. Berlan has to ult himself up, though. Flashes himself out. It's 4 members of Aimee here looking to take down the cow. Good ultimate from Zatai, but they just can't lock anyone down. Rookie immediately cleanses, gets out of the frozen tomb, but Aimee are just all up in the jungle of Invictus Gaming, and it looks like they just can't tell them to leave.
That's really sloppy play out of Baolan. That looked like he just wanted to headbutt pole someone, and in the end, sure, you succeeded, but you die, mate, and all of a sudden there is pressure on the bottom side of your map. IG is a unit right now. It just looked like, you know, this game at least, Aimee got the draft they were looking for and is starting to outclass them.
Yeah. Now looking to push through for this inner turret as well. I mean, no Baron buff. But they do have all of the range in the world with this Kog'Maw. Doesn't take too much damage, as a Voidless does. Take about half of his health from Rookie. Needlessly large rod now completed, looking for what could be that Rylai's Crystal Scepter. Death Ray actually used to try and do damage to his opponent. Might cost him a turret here, as Baolan turns up as well. And Jin Zhao and Road now waiting for anyone to turn up, so that they can just kill him. Now moving themselves up towards the mid lane. You can see we're thinking about it back, but Zatai is here, and the push has been turned around. Now the flank possibly, as Road doesn't have the ultimate. Yeah, Voidless can't find his way amongst it, but gets the knock up onto Rookie. He gets deleted, as at least the gravity field was there. Zatai gets himself out and does at least disrupt Road for the moment, but Marge has to flash. That is 2 swift kills. Curtain Call comes in. Marge able to lock down some targets for a few moments. Amazing J tanks the last bullet, but I may think that they can just go straight for a Baron, and I have a feeling they're right.
Yeah, they're 100% right. I mean, Kog'Maw tears through it. There is no front line left remaining apart from Zatai. This is just such a clinical performance. They look like they want to make a meal of this one.
Yeah, but there's the taunt as Amazing J locks down Marge. He's going to get destroyed by Athena. Baolan as well. I mean, that Unbreakable Will, it's just looking pretty broken as the Baron does take down a Voidless, but it doesn't matter because Jin Zhao's still there with some spit.
It does kind of matter because that was a perfect game. And a Voidless has just cost them. No, not really. They already had 1 kill. Joking.
Yeah.
So, you know, this is really, really clinical out of IMA. And from here, because they do have that range advantage, because they do have good divers, should just be a matter of rotating around the map, picking up some good gold. They're not going to finish on this Baron buff by any means. But as long as they avoid any like huge fights, they should just be able to clean this one quite effortlessly. You have to say that IG, they need to go back to the drawing board. This draft definitely did not work.
No. And I feel like Shen, a pretty important pick as well.
I feel like Hecarim was a bad pick.
Yeah.
If you can't empower the lanes of Invictus Gaming, you really don't have that much hope of winning outright. Because as we said, in pound for pound, the IMA members are no slouches.
Certainly not. Jin Zhao is going completely off, as the next dragon is going to be that Infernal as well. So, air, water, fire. Now more fire. If IMA probably didn't need it. But it will feel good in 6 minutes if they can pick that one up. Jin Zhao almost with his Blade of the Ruined King, but he has certainly enough damage and attack speed to take down this turret on the bottom side of the map, especially with that Baron buff. And Amazing J is pushing all the while on the top side. You can see Titanic Hydra has actually been done second here for a Voidless as well, so he's actually doing some pretty decent damage to these turrets. Satai trying to smack around Amazing J, but really not doing anything at all.
And the real question is, how do you defend this wave? I mean, Rookie is not going to have enough to be able to knock them off the turret with the laser.
Especially not when Athena is positioned so aggressively, waiting for that Frozen Tomb on any target he can find.
But I like this. Good call out of IMA. I mean, you don't have to go over aggressive. You're 10,000 gold in the lead at the moment. Realistically, you can just continue to jockey around the map, look for the outers. You don't have to overdive. We've already seen it once out of Game Talents tonight. Just continue to take away the farm, incrementally increase your lead, and strangle out the IG lineup. They will get frustrated.
Well, Road actually is going to get stunned up by the Deadly Flourish, but Kid, he's going to try and get himself in there. Does take down Road, but he will pay for it. And look at Jin Zhao's damage. He got exhausted, but he's tanking a Chaos Storm and doesn't seem too worried. That's the double killers, of course. Marge falls down, and that is going to spell this inner turret and possibly more here for IMA.
Yeah, and just like LGD, IG really are an impatient team. They will walk as lambs to a slaughter on this IMA lineup. I mean, that is Balan looking for another opportunity, and Jin Zhao just slaughtering the team. If you don't get the Kog'Maw, you can't go in.
Well, Zatai doesn't find anyone with his ultimate either, as Amazing J is not a target that they really want. Inhibitor falls down. IMA just casually wander out.
And, you know, 7-0-2 now for Jin Zhao. Sure, this time they pick up Road, but Road's job's already done. Locks them all in place with a pretty good ultimate. And that Kog'Maw is going to go back and pick himself up a Bork as well as probably more.
Oh
He's just so massive right now, Atlas. That is 1 3/4 item to pretty much 4.
Yeah. And he's, most of the way to his Ginsu's Rageblade as well, which is pretty much a luxury item. Not necessarily for Kog'Maw because it does synergize so incredibly well. But that's already 2 big components done on top of what is already a pretty formidable build. Jin Zhao is utterly terrifying. And the next Baron that comes up, which is going to be in about, 4 odd minutes, it's going to melt. It's Blade of the Ruined King done. So much attack speed. This is terrifying as Amazing J gets slowed down. There's the curtain call, actually. They're looking for him. Find the Shen as he shadow dashes his way out.
That's an optimistic curtain call.
Yes, I would say so.
But they do push him off the turret. All of a sudden, bottom lane Athena looking to break the base in another area.
We should be able to do this one too, as Kid is looking to rotate around, but I don't know whether Athena even worries about that one. Not a lot of magic resist on this horse. It's the inhibitor now under fire. Athena doesn't do a lot of damage to it, to be honest. However, the rest of IG do need to respond. And I may just have so many opportunities to get into this base if they'd like to. And the fact that he's so safe with that glacial path. Zatai just, throws a buckler at him.
And the weighted best of 5.
Oh, wow. Nice stun. Gets Athena out of being able to move. Another buckler lands as Frozen Tomb actually has to be consumed. And Athena does get himself out using all of his mana.
But all of a sudden, turret taken down on the top side of the map. I mean, they sent Zatai, who was really their last member going equal, to deal with the mid laner. Did nearly pick him up, but was not able to. 6,000 gold is the Baron power play. And this is where weighted best of 5 really tells on your mind. I mean, IG, they feel hard done by. Their draft didn't work. They're like, we should only be 1-0 down, but because we finished on the other side of the bracket. It's going to be a 2-0 already, and I'm pretty much after this one game away from winning the best of 5.
Yeah, and if you're talking about momentum, pretty incredible way to do it with a 14,000 gold lead at 27 minutes. That'll get you going. As now Amazing J just strolls into the base, and Jin Zhao is going to help take down this inhibitor. Baolan still looking for an engagement, but Kid's going to get stunned up. He's looking to try and find Baolan, but the ultimate comes down from Amazing J. Jin Zhao just flashes out of the way. You can see, look at all of this damage. The Cogmore just sit and spit. Stand on top of a Chaos Storm. Doesn't seem too worried about it as a Voidless takes down Rookie. Zatai's already dead. Marge is stunned as Amazing J is doing so much work on this Shen. And I may have taken down the inhibitor. Can they take down Nexus turrets now? As Athena was tanking, and he's still got so much burst. Look at that! The Frozen Tomb into all of the buttons. And that is Aime taking down IG in game number 1. And what a convincing match that was. We've been seeing them all night, but it doesn't get old, Spawn.
That was an absolute shellacking.
Oh,
I mean, I have
you.
not seen Aime win a game like that. I mean, in such resounding fashion in a long time. Sure, they've won matches. I mean, they're coming off a slump. RNG, Vici, WE, all able to pick up wins, but IG did not look close to the class that Aime were bringing to Summoner's Rift.
Yeah, not at all. And I mean, if you're talking about, like what we were talking about at the beginning, Kid, we were saying that it's going to be a lot on him, whether they can get anything done. He didn't get anything done in the early game. There was attempted ganks, tried to find his way through. Rookie laned well, as you can see right now. Well, no, not right now. Rookie actually just got destroyed by Athena, but he did lane well, despite that.
Yeah, the early game, I mean, Rookie was doing fine, but, you know, at the end of the day, when they fought over that Infernal Dragon, they were just in a position where they weren't going to be able to win it. And Rookie got deleted in a couple of fights, and Jin Zhao was just the recipient of all of that gold and free kills that were being funneled into a Cogmore of all people.
Yeah. And I mean, at this point, it was a lot of desperation on the side of IG. They knew that most of it was over. 10,000 gold lead at the 20-minute mark is always an incredibly difficult thing to get back from. But man, our hearts are most certainly with IG moving into game number
Yours at
3.
least.
Well, mine certainly is. But ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go to a short break. When we get back, game number 3 and possibly the deciding match between Aime and IG.